We come to you from Devanampattinam in the Kadalur district of Tamil Nadu that braces for Cyclone Nivar. With me, the collector, Mr. Chandrasekhar, and Mr. Gagandeep Singh Bedi, the agricultural secretary, and also the special monitoring officer for Kadalur. So, thank you very much for your time. Met forecast that the landfall could be between Karaikal and Mamallapuram around Puducherry. Now, Kadalur is adjoining Puducherry. Are you worried, and what specific precautions are in place now?
Yeah, as of now, we are not yet sure about exact course of the cyclone. As per precautionary measures wise, Kadalur, especially Kadalur district, has faced several cyclones and natural disasters earlier. So, both the community and government officials wise, all are quite experienced enough here. When it comes to any road breaches or tree falls or electrical or communication systems failure, we have our teams ready in the field. And Kadalur has got 278 vulnerable locations. Out of them, 92 falls under high and very high vulnerable category. All these places have been mapped, and materials have been moved there also. And whereas rescue measures wise, we are ready with SDRF and NDRF both. Almost around 2,000 people are staying in our evacuation camps. Kadalur district, we have got 42 big cyclone shelters, whereas 14 comes under multi-purpose evacuation centers and 28 as cyclone shelters. And apart from this, we have got 191 temporary cyclone shelters, which could, even adhering to COVID-19 norms, we can accommodate comfortably people around 60 to 70,000 people we can accommodate. So all the food and drinking water and water for their day-to-day activities, toilets and every facilities are being maintained. And in case of any power cut or power shortage, we have kept all generators ready in all blocks and at village levels. And now we have around 250 to 300 generators we have arranged. So apart from maintaining these multi-purpose evacuation shelters, we are even pumping the day-to-day water to all the rural and urban areas is very important. So for filling of OHT tanks also, all these generators have been moved.
So the Met forecast, the wind speed could cross 140 kilometers per hour. What kind of damages you anticipate and you're preparing for?
Actually, if it is 140 kilometers per hour or above, it will definitely create a lot of damages to the infrastructure. So first, the electricity poles, the trees will fall on the lines, and electricity poles and lines will get damaged.
Right.
We even expect the transmission towers to be damaged. Definitely there will be a damage to even cell phone towers, and this is the common infrastructure. And of course, all the people who are living in vulnerable houses like huts and tiled houses and tin houses, etc. We expect that such high velocity of winds can cause damage to individual houses also. So if the wind speed is this high, then definitely there will be a lot of damage to infrastructure, both public as well as the individual infrastructure.
And how do you plan to address this?
No, it's very important. See, Tamil Nadu has been facing cyclones frequently. 2018 we had Gaja cyclone in Nagapattinam district, where we were all over there. And before that also we had Thane cyclone in this Kadalur town itself. So basically the 2-3 points. One, our electricity Tangedco is actually, they have already, just now we spoke to the CMD Tangedco, and our Honorable Chief Minister also directed that teams of minimum 2,000 to 3,000 persons immediately should be mobilized right before the onset of the cyclone itself to the districts, and teams are on the way. Besides, as collectors said, 2,000 people camping over here from within the district. Right. The chief engineers from other districts are being mobilized to Kadalur and neighboring districts in order to immediately take up the restoration process. In addition to that, we have also held meetings with the telephone companies, because we have told them to keep the mobile telephone towers ready so as to immediately set up the mobile telephony wherever the mobile towers are also affected. In addition to that, we have also kept a lot of teams, as district collector has told, in this district and in the neighboring districts, at every block office and in every local body office, teams of various departments with equipment like power saws, JCBs, men and material, including police teams with the policemen who will also help in clearing the roads. They have been stationed. In fact, police teams are there is one mobile team every 10 kilometers. So our main purpose is that for the damage to the infrastructure, the restoration process should be done as early as possible, and we should put all our people well in place before the onset of the cyclone.
Right. And when it comes to evacuation, what are the challenges? Are people willing to come here, or are they still reluctant?
See, in most of the places, there is enough cooperation from public. First of all, we take it on priority basis. First, people lying in the low-lying areas and people lying in weaker houses, like in mud houses or thatched houses, they to be moved first.
You're also the agricultural secretary. In terms of farmers, crop losses could be huge, and what's being done about that?
Yeah, our old experience indicates that whenever there is a cyclone, the crops which are going to be very badly affected are number one, coconut,
Right.
number two, banana, then tapioca, and similarly plantation crops. Of course, if the paddy is in the tillering stage, then heavy winds also affect the productivity of paddy. So we have been, in fact, we are aware about an impending cyclone since the last about 10 days, and the state government has given clear-cut messages to the farmers to immediately get insured under Prime Minister's crop insurance scheme. And in fact, as compared to last year, it is much higher percentage of farmers, though Tamil Nadu also always farmers are very eager to do crop insurance. They have done a lot of crop insurance, and we have also given advisory to the owners of coconut trees that they should, if the nuts are there on the trees, the trees tend to bend down with the weight and get broken. So to harvest the nuts if they are ready, and also to make the trees lighter by removing the heavier branches and other portions of the trees. So we have also given advisories for protecting the banana crops also. So we are taking all efforts to in order to ensure that the farmers have as minimum losses as possible in this regard.
Right. The entire state was also busy fighting the pandemic. Did that leave you with little time for monsoon preparedness?
See, COVID, like as I've explained you earlier, like people here are well experienced when dealing with cyclones, and COVID has actually taught us additional lessons.
Right.
Like mobilization of public, like COVID, what new things we have learned was screening across the villages, screening across town panchayats, municipalities, and massive medical camps, conducting of massive medical camps, and screening of the patients, and running the COVID care centers. So these all have taught and brought interdepartmental coordination in the last 7 to 8 months.
No, COVID did not impact your monsoon preparedness in any way.
No, it did not impact. That is what I am saying.
Right.
So with COVID, like where now we have stabilized the COVID cases and almost got to negligible levels.
Right.
Now because of COVID, like we had the interdepartmental coordination in last 7 to 8 months. Right. So everything whatever we have planned, we are planning only as per adhering to the COVID-19 norms. So whether it is evacuation camps or providing sanitizers, masks, and additional facilities in the evacuation centers. So we are following all COVID norms, and in no way COVID was never a hindrance for our flood monitoring works.
Lastly, any message for people in this region, sir?
The message to the people is, one, they should listen to the news, the TV and radio messages, including the district collector Kadalur has also got FM radio of his own for disaster management, to listen to that, so that the people can be exactly told what is the route, the track that the cyclone will cover. So that way the people will be more aware, number one. Second message is, all the people lying in low-lying and vulnerable places should come to the community shelters which the district administration has made. Especially the message, the coastal villages, all the coastal villages should come to the cyclone shelters which are over there. Third, people should always keep with them a few essentials like drinking water supply, safe drinking water supply in abundance, number one.
Right.
Number two, they should keep with them torchlights, matches, candlesticks, sufficient number of warm clothings with them. And the last point is that they should be in touch with the village panchayat presidents and local revenue officials. And in case of any help which is required, they should not hesitate in contacting the district control room or their local representatives through whom they can send the SOS to the district control room. The government and the district administration will always be there to help them at the earliest.
Thank you so much for your time. That was the district collector of Kadalur and the state agricultural secretary, who is also the special monitoring officer for Kadalur at Devanampatnam, with camera person Edwin, Sam Daniel, Find It TV.